everyone, I'm Shelby Mayer, and today I'm going to be just taking you through and talking about all the different new Canva features that I used and learned more about. And so some of the new features that I used in this assignment is the mockup feature, the whiteboard feature, and then the Facebook/Instagram/social media feature. I am a junior right now at the University of Arkansas and I'm majoring in elementary education, hoping to one day be a second or third grade teacher. So, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys so you can kind of just see all the little projects that I was able to work on. Okay, so the first assignment that I worked on using the mockup feature was this kind of just like I would say just a little like photo kind of like template that I would send to parents so they could have just like just parents and students have a fun way to access my website. So I'm going to kind of take you through how I created it. So with the mockups, I feel like it was kind of like hard to pick what exactly I wanted to do because there's a lot of templates on here and a lot of the templates just have a lot of stuff on it as you can see here on the left. And so I kind of just decided to like start from scratch. So I picked a blank template to start with. And so, of course, you got to start with the color. And so for the color, I kind of just like click on it and then pick here for like the background color. I picked this kind of just like kind of like orange, red, ombre. I thought it was really cool and really fun. And then for the words on here, I just like added a text box that you can add right here and you can pick kind of like the font that you want. And then for the shapes, I hit the element kind of like section, and then you can hit shapes here. These are some of kind of like the recent shapes I used. And then you can also like pick the color of your shapes like right here. And so I kind of like a turquoise. And then for the website, because when you click on the little picture of my website, you can like click the link here. And so for that, I took a screenshot of the first page of my website and then I attached the link kind of like right clicking on my little like mouse pad and I hit just like here it just said like add link, but now it's edit link. And so yeah, I already kind of like touched base on this a little bit earlier, how I would use this just like as a teacher and like I would use it to send to parents and students to just have a fun way to kind of just access my website. I think it'd be really fun just sending out an email, maybe like in the beginning of the school year, and maybe like once a month if they kind of like lose the email and would like the website for our classroom. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second just because it's kind of hard with this keypad up here to kind of like click on the next tab. Hey, okay, so now I'm gonna share my screen again. Oops, sorry, not that. Sorry. Okay. See, I'm not the best at technology. I'm still learning. Okay, and so the next project that I'm going to show you that I worked on was the one I used for the social media, which I thought was the most fun, just because I feel like social media is really prevalent in our like society and also just like my generation. And so also I'm a big fan of the holidays, and so I kind of decided to create a little kind of like Instagram post or Facebook, depending on what site you use. And so I made just like a little Christmas, because I made this that I would post on Instagram to just kind of like remind parents about just kind of like the Christmas party that we have for their kids, and kind of just remind them just saying that like when the Christmas party was and just like what we'll kind of be like doing there and like we'll have like snacks and like well they have to bring snacks but pizza will kind of be provided. And so the way I made this is I kind of like typed in like the big Google search bar just like different like I typed in just like Instagram posts kind of And then to make this, I picked kind of like the design that I wanted. There's a lot of like, I typed like in here because I knew I wanted to make like a Christmas one. I typed in Christmas designs and it popped up just like a bunch of like different Christmas designs. And so it was kind of like hard to pick because there were just so many cute ones, but I really liked this one because it had like little stamps on them. And so for like add the text and kind of like the shapes, it was the same way that I did for the other project. But yeah, this one's definitely one of my favorites. I really like this one. Proud of it. I think it's really cute. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second just so I can get to the next project. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so here I made a KWA or KWL chart using the whiteboard method. Didn't even know this, or like the whiteboard, I guess, little feature on Canva. I didn't even know that this was like an option on here. I feel like when it comes to Canva, I'm pretty like standard with what it is. I use it a lot for like presentations because I feel like they have kind of just like a lot more like cute designs and like Google Slides. And I also just feel like there's a lot more features. I feel like Canva is kind of broad and so it's hard to navigate sometimes. But I feel like once you like get it down and once you like kind of like look at everything, I feel like it's just a really cool and also just like fe like cool free feature that teachers can use and definitely need some free learning tools and things that you can do to just create things for our classroom to make it more fun for the kids. And so I made a K2EO chart for If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I think it's just like a classic book that I feel like most children have heard of. I also just think it's really cute. And so I kind of just created it for also for this. I kind of just like clicked on like the broad whiteboard and then I just like decided to kind of like what design I wanted to use. And so I kind of used this design right here, but then like obviously I switched a lot of it and kind of changed everything about it just because I wanted it to like fit the theme of the book. And so I changed the colors and I also added some images kind of like here with like the uploads. I like uploaded here. You see like some of the images, like here like the mouse and then kind of just like the book up here to the right and then like the cookies. And then most of this was kind of already on here, except I just changed the colors. And I would use this for, I would probably print these out and give these to like my kids or also just like, and have them just kind of like fill it out after reading the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. But yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for just listening to me talk about these games features. I feel like this assignment and also just this class in general has just better prepared me for being a teacher because I feel like the technology is the future and I'm glad that I just got to learn more about different free resources that I can use as a teacher and also just use in college because I still have a few more years left in college. But thank you guys so much for listening and I hope you have a great day. Bye.